And everything's good. Great. I'm RB Dragonite. My head's exploding. It's terrible. But that's not important. What is important is I haven't done replays in forever and a half. And now that my head is exploding and I don't feel like thinking, now seems like a perfect time to go over some replays. But let's start with some Duel life, right? We gotta see how everyone else is doing before we see my dumbass. Alrighty, we are opening with the Dark Magician. And getting Ash Blossomed on the Magician's Rod immediately, but you do have the Soul Servants, and he's going to call by the Ash Blossom anyways. Alright, Ash gets called, Rod goes through, we have Circle. Alright, we are drawing as many shapes as we need to draw in order to succeed. So we're going to Circle, we're going to Servant. Grab Salvation. Salvation's going to put down Eternal Soul. Alright. We're going to send the Rod. Alright. And we're going to Max C right at the beginning. Alright, we're starting with Fenrir being summoned. This is looking like Kashtira. You never really know, because... oh boy, I've seen them in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So Telemate Kashtira is on the board. Fenrir is on the board. Unicorns in the hand. There goes the Super Poly. Wait, what was that? That was Super Poly. Called by and souls that were just sent, and he just used Planetary Pathfinder, which you contribute to get a field spell, to grab the pressured planet. Boop! There it is. Grabbing Rise Heart. Get a special Rise Heart. Going to pitch the Ogre. We're just gonna start swinging, not gonna extra deck. Dark Magician gets summoned, gonna banish Fenrir. Alright, now that he's gonna take the two remaining Kashtiras on his board. There's the big Space Laser. And he's ending. Alright, Space Laser to get Scareclaw. Gonna pop the circle and not the soul. Okay. Well, here's the Avelstar now. There's Betrayal. The Rod is back. The Circle is back. The Circle is back to back. Gonna grab Secrets of Dark Magic. Gonna Soul Servant, grab Super Poly and another Rod. There's Dark. Gonna take the Dark and the Dark Magician. There's Selene. Probably gonna use Soul now to tick tick tick. Bring Rod back. Oh no, he's still gonna Link Climb. Alright. Here's Access. Access gets a bunch of damage, gonna pop that. The Shangri-Ira is gonna use its effect to live just a bit longer. They're gonna mill more. Gonna use the next effect, send Dark. Pop that. Gonna use Soul now, bring Dark Magician on the board. As well as Salvation to get out another, to get a Dark Magician girl back from the grave. Alright, and the board is clear. And ends it with the special animation. Very nice. That was a neat replay. I probably won't have anything as neat as that, because not gonna lie, it's been so long since these replays, I don't remember any of them. It has been really long. It's been last year long. Oh boy. Well, let's get into it. Right. So, this festival duel against XC, what festival was it? Can I tell by looking? I can't, actually. Was it the Synchro Fest? Who knows? Let's see. It was in, my brain can't number right now. I don't remember what month that is. Someone who's smarter than me, what is that, 6th June? Oh well, let's see. What do I have here? I have Ancient Warriors. Yeah, this is a while ago. I dismantled this deck. Fun deck though. Ancient Warriors are neat. Alright, so Sword Soul player goes first. Doing the standard Sword Soul shenaniganry here. There's a Long Wan. He is on the board. There's Cheng Ying. And there's some burn. And some back row. So what do I start with? I start with Saga. So I forget the sagas. It's been a while since I used this. This one's Deception and Betrayal. This one is 3 visits. And then I use Fire Formation Tenki. So what happens here? I normal summon Sun Mu. Was that Sun Mu? Yeah, that's Sun Mu. I remember that much at least. He was the blue guy. So we're going to target Sun Mu, and we're going to use Saga, because you target it, and then I think you add a different Ancient Warrior with a different name when you normal summon an Ancient Warrior. So you use that to grab Zhu Kong, and then when Zhu Kong is added by an Ancient Warrior, he can special summon himself. Like this. And then when an Ancient Warrior's effect is activated while Sun Mu is on the board, you can spin something back to the opponent's hand. Except I'm not going to, because he's going to imperm Sun Mu. But I'm going to decide to send the Saga in an attempt to stop it using Zhu Kong's effect, and then he's going to use Xixiao's effect in order to stop that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is on crack. I love it. Yeah, now I'm going to use Saga 3 visits graveyard effect, which special summons an Ancient Warrior from my hand. Just get another body on the board, just because I don't have any extra deck in case you notice. I don't remember what event this was. But, whatever it was, it made me decide, you know what, I'm just going to use these instead. Was it the, no it wasn't. Never mind. Anyway, he's going to use, Cheng Ying's effect when something gets banished to banish something from either, or from my field of grave. So there goes Sun Mu. There goes 3 visits. But 3 visits still procs, so we're going to normal summon Lu Zhuan, and then Lu Zhuan's effect can grab another Ancient Warrior from the deck. So I grab Cao De here. Then Deception and Betrayal hurts myself in order to special summon an Ancient Warrior from my hand. And then he's going to Nibiru. And I'm going to try and negate it. And it didn't work, because if I remember correctly, he was still negated from Cheng Ying's, or not Cheng Ying, Xixiao. So now, I have a giant rock on my field. Ah, but wait! I have a giant rock on my field. So we're just gonna put down another Betrayal. And I'm just gonna hit him with the giant rock he gave me. Although, to be specific, the token from Nibiru isn't a rock. It's like the thing inside the rock. It's like fucking Chrono Trigger. It's like, you know, Lavos inside the meteor. Which I'm pretty sure, I don't know mythology. I don't know things. But I'm pretty sure, like, they share the same reference point. Anyway, he's going to do all that just to get a Tenyi on the board, just for my giant not rock to keep punching. So I'm going to summon old Ing here, which I don't really care about that effect. I'm just going to hit him. with the giant rock he gave me. See, that's an important lesson to learn, kids. If you're gonna Nibiru, you need a way to deal with the token afterwards. The token doesn't have protection, right? But you need to be smart about it if you're using it as a Hail Mary. Or hope that you can get a one-card combo that can get rid of it afterwards, right? Because it's dangerous otherwise. Up next, a ranked duel against Now. What was Now using? This is Crusadia. Wait, was it Crusadia? Yeah, Crusadia. Yeah. He's got the Equimax. He's got all these funny-looking dudes. He's got this guy. Yeah, it's Crusadia. Crusadia is an OTK strategy. They're going to make a big dude, and they're going to make him bigger by making him point at little dudes. And when he's pointing at little dudes, the big dude becomes bigger, basically. I went first. I am using Ignister, and this is before the extra firewall support. Yeah, so I'm using a pretty old standard stuff here. So we're gonna summon Picari. We're gonna grab I Meet You. We're gonna use I Meet You, show transcode in order to get Gachiri. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna link him off into the infant. Infant's going to get me the field spell here. We're going to use the field spell. The field spell gives you additional normal summons of a different attributed Ignister as long as you don't have a monster in your main monster zone. It is essentially like the main combo piece to this deck, and it's very fun. I think Ignister is still my favorite of the like 3 main Cyberse decks, like Ignister, Code Talker, and Mathmech. I think Mathmech is the easiest to use, absolutely. And realistically speaking, like, Mathmech DNA is in the other 2 anyway, so, like, if you're going to choose to make one, you can make Mathmech, and then if you ever decide to make the other ones, you're, like, halfway there already. There's also Salamangrate, but I don't like Salamangrate as much. I don't know. Enough rambling, though. We're going to use the Ignister. We're going to add the Picari back to my hand, or use the Doyon to add the Picari. We're going to use Signet Mining in order to get Aichichi. We're going to link off these 2 into the Wicked. Kid is on the board. We're going to send I Meet You back to my hand using Doyon's effect. We're going to reuse AI Land to summon Picari, because remember, I normal summoned Picari, but using the field spell, I can re-special summon it. So we're going to go into Splash Mage and bring Picari back. And then we're going to take these guys, go into Transcode Talker. We're going to use it once more. We're going to use Aichichi. Using Aichichi, we're going to grab Burudu. We're going to use Transcode to slap down Splash Mage. And then we're going to take the 3 of those in order to make Dark Templar, which you need to make with 3 different monster names. So it's important that you spread out your resources. Although that's kind of an important thing with Link decks in general. The main ones, I should say, the Firewall, the Mathmech, and the Code, or the Ignister. Link decks are pretty resource intensive in order to get to the boards that they need to end on. It's very rare for Link decks to have a backup plan, and the ones that do usually sit on a big monster and hope you can't get past it, or they're Marincess, because Marincess has a couple of backup plans because they can recycle their monsters. So can Salamangrate. But I don't know, something about I don't know why I don't enjoy those as much when they're technically safer. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to use Burudu. When you summon Burudu, you can send an Ignister from deck to grave, and I send Denmari because when Denmari's in the grave, it essentially gives you a Omni Negate when you have a Link 6 on board, which is the main goal of the deck, is to get, right now at least, before the support, is to get the Arrival Cyberse Ignister on the board. Because he's a big butt, and he's immune to things, so having an extra Omni Negate on top of that is quite handy. Speaking of, we're going to use Burudu to get Infant on the board. And we're going to use Infant. We're not going to use Infant yet. We're going to use Templar's effect. When when a monster special summon to his own Templar points to, he can revive Ignisters in the grave that are level 4 below. And now we use Infant, because Infant has another effect. When the Cyburst with 23 original attack activates its effect, he scoots over, right? So, the idea here is you scoot him over, and now that he's scooted over, you can get 3 monsters instead of 2 using Templar's effect. On top of that, you might have noticed that Ignister now has a new attribute. He's not light. That's not light. That's divine. Light is this one. And you do that because in order to get the Arrival Cyburst at Ignister, you need monsters with different attributes. So yeah. Him changing to divine is essentially a safety net, because it means you never have to worry about like overlapping attributes, because no one else is going to be using fucking divine monsters. Like, you're not going to have other divine monsters. The only other divine monsters are the Egyptian gods. So anyway, we're going to Synchro Summon using Bududu and Pikari to get Wind Pegasus on the board. And then we're going to use its effect to revive. We're going to take the 2 of these guys, link off into G-Golem Crystal Heart. We're going to use Crystal Heart's revive effect to put down Transcode Talker right there. And then we're going to use all 5 of these guys in order to make Ignister, or the Arrival. So now he is a big butt. So we're going to Cosmic Cyclone. He's going to get rid of my field spell. And he's going to Kaiju. Such is the weakness of tower type monsters, getting eaten by a giant mecha. It's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to lie. When that happened, I was pretty certain I lost. So I was like, oh, well, he probably got me. Let's see him go off. You know, good thing about Crusadia, if you do decide to do it, the combo to do it is relatively simple, and it's also very cheap. Very few of their monsters are SRs or URs, so it's like a decent beginner deck. Or like a decent blind second deck. Because like the things that are expensive in the deck are like the blind second staples, like the Kaijus. And some of those are also cheap. Anyway, here's Equimax. Equimax is essentially the main guy who kills, because he gains attack equal to the original attack of all the monsters that he points to. And that's what you use to do some damage. Boop. But then he keeps going. He makes Avramax. Then uses Pot of Avarice to put some links back. Yeah, and because of, what card was that? Yeah, Arborea. What did that even do? If a Crusadia monster would be destroyed. Yeah, that's right, because I'm not attacking. Or no, because the Kaiju wasn't summoned from the extra deck, Avramax can't use his effect to boost his attack. So he had to use the Arborea to like not die, and yeah, he kind of screwed the bag there. He kind of had that one, and then just kind of oopsied, which yeah, that happens. You don't want to oopsie, people. Up next, we have a ranked duel against Mimi. What was Mimi using? Mimi was using, oh, speak of the devil, Marincess. Alright, I'm still using Ignister. So now I'm just going to footnotes the combo here. So we're going to Itichi to get Pikari. I'm going to Itichi to go into Infant. Infant is going to add the field spell. Even though I already have one in my hand, but there's a reason for that. We're going to use the field spell, get Pikari on board. And one thing I really like about this deck is this card, AI Contract. If you already have a field spell in your hand, you get another one from the main combo anyways. I like this card, because you can send the field spell back to the bottom of the deck and then draw 3. It's kind of nice. You go +1. It's a neat +1. Anyway, we're going to take the 2 links, go into Wicked. We're going to use I Meet You, which I already had in my hand, which is why I didn't get it using Pikari. to grab Doyon, so I showed Dark Templar. Yeah, I meet you. You can reveal the Cyberse monster with 2300 attack, and you get an Ignister with the same attribute, and if you don't summon it, you take 23. So, the monsters in the deck that can utilize that, we can grab Doyon with Dark Templar. We can grab, we could also use Access Code Talker in case Dark Templar, something happens to Dark Templar. Because Access Code Talker starts at 23. We can grab Picari with Heat Soul, or not Picari, we can grab Aichichi with Heat Soul. We can grab Gachiri with Transcode. And I'm not using the water one right now, so it's kind of a non-issue. And then we can grab, if I need to, Bururu with Wind Pegasus. The other extra deck, Ignister monsters, the Fusion and the other one, the Xe monster. You can use those if you want to grab Picari and what's his face? Other Earth monsters, but I don't need to. So anyway, we're going to proceed with the main combo here. Doyon is going to send. We're going to re-grab Aichichi because he was the one I normal summoned, so now I can special summon him when I use AI land. Transcode. He is coding. I meet you is back in my hand. There goes Aichichi. We're going to bring back like anything in there. Templar is on the board. There is Bururu. Bururu sends over the not the Denmari. It is Denmari. Anyway, we're gonna Infant. Infant's gonna scoot. Templar is gonna revive. Bam, bam, bam. Take those two. Here is the Pegasus. Pegasus also not a bad card. You can destroy spell traps your opponent controls up to Ignisters. And then if this card is on field or in grave and a card I control is destroyed, it can spin a card the opponent controls back to the deck. So even if I don't leave it on the board, it's still useful because that effect still works in the grave. Now's a good time to use AI Contact, so I'm just gonna grab that. Hey, look, we have Mathmech stuff. So we're going to take these two, make Alimbertion. I think the main reason I did this is because I'm trying to get different elements on the board in order to get Ignister. So we're going to do that. We're going to Signet Mining. Oh, I am using the water one. That's right, because you can just like special summon him. Yeah, he's just like a free element, basically. And there you go. 6 attribute Ignister. This was before he even had the animation. So yeah, Imperm, and they're going to Marincess. I'm not familiar with the Marincess combo, so let's see what they do. So I Imperm the Sea Angel. I don't know, because like I said, I'm not familiar with this deck. I'm not sure what they do, but he had Extension, so he's able to use the Sea Nettle in order to keep climbing. So there's the Anemone. And I try and negate the Anemone. And then he just brings out more mermaids. It's a lot of mermaids. It's a lot of swimming ladies. So there's Battle Ocean. Battle Ocean, more than the actual Link monsters himself, is like the dangerous thing about Marincess. It gives them attack, and every Marincess monster that has another Marincess equipped to it gets an additional 600 attack for each one. Cards in the extra monster zone that use Crystal Heart as a material are unaffected by a card effect, which is pretty good. And then when a Link monster is Link summoned, when a Marincess is Link summoned to their zone, they can immediately equip it with 3 things. So, he's going to use the Coral Anemone. But he's only going to equip 2. but he's going to take the Spring Girl and make her a slug. And then burn me. How do they burn me with water? What are they, scalding? What, do they live near a volcano? Anyway, he's going to forget that, the Arrival Cyber Saturnister is immune to cards and, try to spin me back. I'm just going to use I Meet You here. We're just going to grab some more cards here. We're going to grab some Aichichi. We're going to, pop that, quote-unquote. I say quote-unquote because I know I'm not going to pop it because it was made using Crystal Heart, so it's immune. But the good news is, he's going to end up wasting Titanocider on it, which targets a face-up monster that the opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. Changes attack to 0 and negate its effects. But, about that. Unaffected by other cards' effects. The game's not kidding when they say that. Now, if you're wondering why kaijus work and why something like this doesn't, it's because the condition to summon a kaiju is the cost, not the effect, right? To summon the kaiju, you need to tribute monsters, and you can tribute an opponent's monster. That is a cost. You cannot negate the cost of cards except through very, very specific roundabout ways that almost end up like not being worth it in the end, or essentially like gimmick deck only kind of things. And because of that, the Titanocider is not going to work. But unfortunately, I didn't get a token either. But unfortunately to his unfortunately, he's going to continue to he's going to use Argonaut's effect to summon one of the equipped cards that she had in order to negate a spell effect. But the thing about that is Ignister AI Land is not once per turn. The destruction effect to bring itself back is once per turn, but the effect itself is not. So I'm just going to do it again. Here's Doyon. And they're going to surrender. So, that was a interesting temp. Mimi, I think... Actually, no, I don't think... I don't know. I don't know what they could have done. Anyway, up next, we have a ranked duel against Ghoul, who was using, Branded. This is before they had their, like, 18th billionth wave of support, so let's see what they do. Alright, still using Ignister here. And I was just on the Ignister roll here, I guess. But yeah, we're going to Picari. He's going to max C. So, if there's one thing that I must say about this deck that is an absolute negative about this deck, it is that this deck has conditioned me to not be afraid of max C. And this duel will be a perfect demonstration as to why. So, standard opening. We're going to summon the infant, get the field spell, use contact now, because I don't have much else in my hand. What do we get? Very good things. So we're going to use mining, send Sigma, grab Ignister, and we're gonna start with the Ball Drake. So he's gonna munch on my Sigma. My Sigma is gone. All well. So we're gonna Aichichi, get Doyon. Alright. Wicked Pitch. Doyon regrab. There's Burudu in my hand. Take these two. Transcode. There's the Picari. There's Wicked back once again. Templar's out. Templar is going to get Nibiru. Now, if you're going against Ignister, you want to either Ash the Infant so they don't get their field spell. Like, you want to stop the Infant so they don't get their field spell, or you want to stop Templar so they can't climb. So that was actually one of the best things that they could have done in this scenario. And I don't care, because I play Link Spider in case I get Nibiru'd anyway. Because Link Spider just needs a normal monster, and since all tokens are normal monsters, you can just convert a Nibiru token into a Link Spider and keep going with your plays! Now you might be wondering, hey, you just spent a lot of resources in order to get to the Templar, right? Like, how much do you have that you can still possibly, like, make a board and end on the Arrival? Well, I have a lot of ways. So we're gonna use Crystal Heart. We're gonna revive Transcode Talker. We're gonna use Subtraction here. Having the Math Mechs helps a lot for extension. We're gonna turn what's his face into a different attribute. That way, we can get Ignister with 4K on the board. And we're going to pop that, we're going to plant our token. They have 19 cards in hand. So, as to be expected, they have a ton of hand traps in their hand. I'm going to Denmari the Cowbite. He's going to Branded Opening. I'm going to Ash Blossom. He's going to Sereneer. But I don't have any more follow-up after that, so I'm going to stop. So what happens? He doesn't get the opening. Cowbite gets negated. So now I max C. So now I draw for his special summons. He's going to use Fusion Deployment to get Albaz on the board. And, so here's his downfall. So Fallen of Albaz can essentially super poly. It's not exactly super poly, but yeah, he can use monsters on either field as fusion material in order to make fusion monsters. But a key part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember what I said earlier, right? You cannot use effects on the Arrival, but you can use cost. The fusion effect of Albaz is not a cost. It is the effect. The cost to use his fusion effect is to discard a card, right? Because it's before the semicolon, right? This is the cost. This is the effect. So he tried to poly using the Arrival. Because I remember this now, because he was like there for a couple of seconds thinking, why can't I fusion the Arrival? So he had to use the token instead in order to get Lubellion. And once again, he's going to try to super poly the Arrival, which you cannot do. Because the fusion summon using monsters from either field is the effect of super poly, not the cost. The cost of super poly is to discard a card. Even though I can't activate an effect or response into this card's activation, the Arrival's unaffected condition is passive. So I don't need to activate anything to do anything about it. It's just not going to work. So he is now forced to super poly his own monsters and make Dracostapelia. He's now going to Branded Fusion the Dracostapelia and Albaz into Mirror Jade. But Mirror Jade doesn't have enough damage. He's going to plant a bunch of back row. He's going to kit. Regained his back in the hand. Shuffle something back. There's Cartesia. Can use Cartesia and Despoon Tragedy and make Quertus. Right. So Quietus's effect is changing the attack of all monsters on the field to 0 until the end of the turn, except level 8 or higher fusion monsters. Which is not going to work, because the Arrival Cyberus is unaffected by other cards' effects. I'm not sure what it is that why people don't... I know it's like in the middle of his little paragraph, right? Because I know it's like the first thing is that you can only have one, and then the second thing is that, you know, he gains attack for the number of materials he used. But then it's like the third sentence. And honestly, it's more important than the other two. So yeah, he's going to try to 0 the attack. And it's going to fail viciously. And he realizes that. And surrenders. It was a valiant effort, Ghoul. But yeah, please, read cards. I know reading cards is hard. Read cards. And I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, card rulings is hard, but remember, before the colon is the cost, after the colon is the effect. Semicolon. The colon is the one with the 2 dots. The semicolon is the one with the dot in the comma. Yeah. That being said, give me a quick moment. I will start some tea. My throat is starting to be sore. Alrighty, I am back. Tea on stove, gummy worms in hand. But enough about that. Time for the ranked duel against Ricardo. What was Ricardo using? Runic Sprite. Alright, let's see, Ricardo. How'd this play off? Alrighty, I'm still going apeshit with Ignister here. There's the Huggin. There's his tick. Grabs his Curse of Freezing. Fire is flashed. Huggin is back. Gonna take Huggin and Rex to make Donner. Gonna use Beats effect to get Rafale. Dragon's on the board. Grabs Max C. Make the 3 of those. Make a Wolf Daddy. And then slaps Donpa on board. There's Max C again, but as previously mentioned, I ain't afraid of no Roach with this deck. So we're going to mine the Cynet mining. We're going to grab Aichichi. We're going to use I Meet You. We grab Doyon. We're going to grab Picari. Unfortunately for me, because he put his monster in the right extra monster zone, I can't do the full combo exactly, because Infant can't scoot over to give another space. He can still change his attribute if I scoot him over, but he can't change the... But I'm not going to get 3 extra monsters on board. Only 2. Okay, so Rafale is going to get him to draw. Donpa is going to slap my Infant. But thankfully for me, AI land is not once per turn. He's going to use Carrot to negate the AI land, but once again, thankfully the AI land is not once per turn. So now he's going to use Rafale in order to picture Furhire to negate Picari, but hey, that's what Circular's for. Yeah, then we were going to Freezing Curse, and then what happened here? He ran out of time. And I was extra confused when this happened, because it did not seem like he ran out of time. I thought he was playing at like a reasonable pace. I would not have thought that he ran out of time, but I guess he did. Up next, up against Long Island. Long Island using Earth Machines. Alright, what do we got? Oh, good old Block Dragon. I miss you. This is definitely Adamantipator. So we're going to send Revival Golem. Using Foolish Burial to get a free body on the board. He's going to max C, but as previously mentioned, I've been conditioned to not be afraid of that roach anymore. Now, key important part. An extra reason I'm not afraid of the Roach with this deck, which normally this deck would be a deck afraid of the Roach. I have Guardian on the board, which can tribute itself to negate a activation of a monster effect, including Nibiru. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to get another summon from Raptite here. But I'm going to take these two, make Gallant Granite, and I'm going to use Gallant Granite in order to get Seeker, and use Seeker's effect to special summon himself, and then keep going that way. Grab Supplier, grab another Guardian, take Seeker and Raptite, make Dragite. Hit Granite and Supplier. Make Masquerena. Bring Cartharin back. Use Block Dragon. Get another Send. Take these guys. Get Apo. And then bring the rocks back. And then take those two, make Herald, and end. So he's going to tribute Apo, the meanie. Going to bring out Citadel. Going to grab Anchor Drill. Use Forbidden Droplet. But he didn't pitch a monster, which is kind of important. Forbidden Droplet lets you send any number of cards from your hand or field to graveyard. Choose that many monsters your opponent controls. Their attack is halved and their effects are negated. But to stop your opponent from responding to it, you have to pitch monsters that are the same type of card as spell. So if you don't want them to use traps when you use this, you have to send a trap. If you don't want them to use spells, you have to send a spell. If you don't want them to use monster effects, such as Dragite's Omni Negate here, you have to send a monster. But he didn't send a monster. He sent 2 traps, or 2 spells and a trap. So he doesn't get to negate the board. So, he's going to bring out the Rail Cannon, and Fortress, and Anchor Drill, and Harvester. Harvester's going to grab Brutal Dozer. He's going to take these two, make Earth Slice. Not going to lie, Earth Machine is always the deck I want to try out. And now we're going to Herald of the Arclight in order to say no to that Earth Slicer effect. But, that is interesting. So the chain here, he uses Dora's effect to target a monster in the field to make a monster unaffected by card effects except its own. Which would have been dangerous, but I still had Guardian on the board, so I used Guardian to negate it myself. And then he's going to Overdrive to recycle. Which, I mean, they're Earth Machines. Of course they recycle. The train is gone. The Earth Slicer's effect is negated. Citadel is still on board. I'm gonna pop the Gamma Seal. Gets Fortress and Crustle. And Middle Crusher. Gonna get Dozer. Gonna get Trencher. Gonna Anchor Drill with these two. Earth Slicer is back. Some might say better than ever. And then he grabs my dragon. Made of rocks. They were pretty rocks. Then gonna slap Goliath on the board. In order to bring back another Earth Slicer. And give it a material. And then Dora goes back to the safety of the extra deck. So we're going to start with Carthren so I can get another normal summon. So he's going to Metal Crusher. He's going to do some digging. Grab a card. We're going to use Seeker here. Do some seeking. Some soul searching, if you will. Yeah, I'm going to grab Roxy's. We're going to do some link climbing here. So, we're going to get rid of my Guardian to bring out the Dropsies and get an additional draw. We're going to use Carthren to get him back on board. Now that I control a water and an earth. There's the doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Bring out another Roxy's. We're going to take these guys. Make a Nightmare Unicorn. Get rid of that. Want him to use that effect. Now we're going to take these two. And make Avermax. I didn't make him a Masquerena, so he is vulnerable to destruction. And then make Baron with the last two. And by make Baron with the last two, I mean use Block Dragon's effect to get more rocks, so I'm not done yet. We're going to get rid of that Earth Slicer. His Citadel is on board. His Freight Train is on board. He's going to use Citadel's effect to destroy everything with attack equal or less than to it. I'm going to say no. I would like my Baron being on the board. I'm going to use Dragite, Dragite's gem effect to send itself to the deck in order to send the Dragite Dragon back, which is quite nice. So now, he's going to Urgent Schedule, bring out some more machines. I'm going to slap down Seeker. Here is Cheng Ying, because now there is a ton happening here. So Cheng Ying gets 100 attack and defense for each banished card, and the opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and defense for each one, which is 14. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm still not done because I still have Researcher, so now we can keep recycling here. Grab another crystal, slap down our Analyzer. He's in a Max C. I'm just gonna say no. There's another banished card. And because something got banished, I can banish something from both their field and grave. And then we take these two. And our old Crystal Dragon is back. And with that, that is 2 Sens back because of Dragite's effect. Dragite has an active effect in where you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck and then spin opponent's cards back up to the number of excavated rock monsters, which in that case was 2. So now we swing, and we swing. Boy, do I miss Block Dragon. That's the lesson of that duel. I miss Block Dragon. With that being said, I will be back in a moment so I can grab my tea. Alrighty, I am back with some black tea. Normally I fucking hate tea, but you know, throat is on fire, head is on fire. Tea is nice. Caffeine is good for you, except when it's not. Don't listen to me. Anyway, our next duel against True Necro. What was True Necro using? They were using, looks like, this is, what's his face? Yeah, these cards are set to 1 now. These cards are also set to 1, and so is that one. This was, Sprite. I think I remember this one. Actually, let me move my cup away from the mic so that the sounds of a spoon clanking against a mug is, not as, obnoxious. Alrighty, yes, I have some Dragon Link here. So they're going to start with Sprite Starter. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to Ash Blossom. He's going to Gamma. He's going to say no to my no, and that's a good opportune time to max C. So, he's going to take the Gamma and the Jet, make Mannequin Cat, and is going to bring out fucking Shinzo of all things. No fucking way I would have predicted that. Yeah, here we are. And he's going to end. Kind of. So, I'm going to put Brigade back on the board. I'm going to use Chaos Space, send over Wyver Buster, rip, rest in peace Wyver Buster. I'm going to Collapse Serpent. Mannequin Cat is going to use her effect to special summon a monster with the same attribute or type of the monster that she targets. And of course, Collapse Serpent is dark, so she brings out fucking End of Anubis. I've never seen this fucking thing either. While this card's face up on the field, all effects of spell, trap, and monsters that target a card in the graveyard or activate in the graveyard are negated. And that's fucking annoying. Yeah, just like that. So, I'm in a bit of a problem here. Time to improvise. Jeez, also rip Chaos Ruler. Yeah, you can tell how old this replay was. And I bring out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, a card that is no longer in this version of the deck, but was very handy for things like this, because I can target a face-up card the opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Just right there, he's level 9. You need a Dark Dragon Synchro monster, and Chaos Ruler is like the perfect thing to use for this, because like once he's done, and you have like, you know, Rocket Synchron as your level 1, it's just a convenient path to immediately like build into an extra body, an extra negate. Yeah. There goes that plan. He surrendered. Let me take a trip down memory lane. Anyway, up against Moon Language. I don't know what that says. Using Black Wings. Let's see what the Wings of Midnight do. Alright, still on some Dragon Link. They go first. They're going to Whirlwind. Reveal Simoon, use Simoon, get another Whirlwind. Going to use the effect of both Whirlwinds, because they're not one of those kinds of cards that only one works. Going to get Sudri. Going to get Vata. Going to slap them both on the board. Then he's going to climb even further, even higher. I'm still waiting for that first synchro summon. How about now? Let's get pitch those. There it is. There's Blackwing Dragon. Alright, gonna get the Vata back on the board. And make these two. Gonna make, what is it? No Thong. Yeah, nothing. His name is Nothing. He's gonna make nothing. Like, you just... You know, the funniest part is, like, I'm having a funny sense of deja vu, because I'm having the exact same experience, because I've fought against Blackwings several times, because, you know, they made the structure deck, so it's like an easy deck to make. But, I still have no fucking idea how the deck works, basically. I know they synchro climb a bunch, using birds. I don't even know what that thing is. But then he keeps going. He takes the Nothong into that thing. And now this thing I am familiar with. It's a Tax Dragon. He's gonna slap down some more guys on the board. Hey, look. He uses it too. Why wouldn't he? It's a neat card. But he's gonna keep going. He's gonna go even further beyond and make Chaos Ruler. Gonna grab the Simoon out of all that. Send all those. And get another Tax Dragon. And take the Boreaster. And make another Tax Dragon! So the reason we call these Tax Dragons is because, basically, if I do any monster effect, I immediately take 700 damage. And now that there's 3 of them, that means I take 2100 damage. So I need to be very careful in order to actually facilitate a board state here. Luckily for me, Quick Launch is not a monster effect. And luckily for me, this effect only works when the monster's actually on the board and not in my hand. Which includes Rocket Tracer's effect to pop. So I'm going to take some taxes there. Got a big Striker Dragon here. Ow, ow, ow. But that's all I needed. Because Gun Dragon exists. Good old Gun Dragon. Boral and Dragon. I fucking love this thing. So, you need at least 3 monsters, which, you know, or 5 in this case. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and neither player can target it with monster effects. And, probably one of the most important things about this, in this particular state, can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Just as well, I can target an effect monster in the field and a rocket in the grave, negate the effect monster's effect, and revive the rocket, which is also quite nice. It's also unrespondable, which is even nicer. But, what's he gonna do now? Gonna get Silverwind, the Ascendant. What's he ascending to? So now, time to start punching some dragons. And that one gets to live for now because of his effect. But now he's got a big old gun dragon sitting on him. And then we're going to Gun Dragon the Tax Dragon, and then he's going to stop right there. My dragons are better than his. They're made of guns. Up next, a duel against Goodbye. They were using, we got more, what's this? Kashtira. Yeah, this is back when this guy was still allowed. Well, let's see, Goodbye. What did you do? Well, I've got some Sword Soul. Alright, I'm going to start off with the Pot of Desires. Going to pitch a lot. Except we're not, because we're going to get Ash Blossomed. But we're not, because I'm going to Called by the Ash Blossom. I'm curious, what got pitched from the Called by? Sacred Summit, Vishuddha, another Called by, Ashuna, the other Desires, Lightning Storm, another Ashuna, Maxi, Ecclesia, and Blackout. And then he's gonna Maxi. We're going to point aggressively. Alright. Not the best of draws from all that, but, you know, it's something. So now we're going to Moye. Gonna show him the Longguan, get a token. Gonna start climbing. Here's Xixiao. Boop. We're, as always, going to chain block the Xixiao search with the Moye draw, just in case. Very nice. Get Taya. Gonna strategist. Send the other strategist. Take these two. And make this Longguan the Sinister Sovereign, as I prefer calling him most of the time. And then we're going to Protoss. We're going to Protoss, called Dark. Protoss is a very mean card, because you can declare a monster attribute on the field, destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute, and then neither player can special summon monsters with that attribute until the end of the next turn. You might be wondering, if I just called Dark, why is Protoss still there? Well, it's because right there he can't be destroyed by card effects. It's quite handy. Can't blow himself up with his own effect. That would be silly. That being said, once again, I've been conditioned by Ignister to not be afraid of Maxi, so now he's holding 11 cards in his hand, which a ton of other people would be afraid of. I am not one of those people. So he's got some adventure stuff, some Aventura. So there's the Griffin Rider. We're going to banish the Imperm. The Imperm's still going to go off, but I still want to use the Sinister Sovereign effect just so he takes some extra burn damage. Likewise, Sinister Sovereign has two effects. If the opponent special summons, he can banish one of those monsters, do some damage, or if they activate a spell trap, he can banish that spell trap and then do some damage. That only happens once per turn, and importantly, does not negate the effects. So you typically want to use these on like field spells or something, or continuous spells. But I'm just shotgunning here, because I still don't know what he's playing. So, he's going to put my rock back in my hand, because he had Triple Tactics talent. And now that he's slapped the Ogre on the board, I finally realize what he's playing. Not gonna lie, when I saw this, I was extremely confused. I was like, what is he doing? I getting Heat Soul, I guess. That's an option, I suppose. Still all this adventure stuff. He's barely used any of the Kashtira stuff, and now he's going to go into it, so he's going to birth a Fenrir, as you do, giving birth to live dudes. What did you banish there? My emergence, Sunini. So now he's going to punch my board very hard. And punch me very hard. That hurts. It hurts a lot. My insides are almost outside. And he ends on Shangara-Ira, which is extra annoying. So he's going to hurt himself, get a draw. He's going to special summon a Kashtira. Chooses Fenrir. Gets Ogre from the Shangara-Ira. Starlit Papalion. So now I'm gonna go. I need to do things. So here's Adhara. So fun fact about the Tenyi stuff in the Sword Soul deck. They are useful. Don't get me wrong. They're useful. But the thing they're most useful at is being negation bait. And now Shangara-Ira is going to start blocking zones, unfortunately. So now we're going to Taya, send the emergence, because I need to do something pretty specific here in order to win. And I realize that, which is what I do. So Sword Soul Emergence, when banished, can target a Sword Soul or a worm you control and increase or decrease its level by 1. Which I do right here. I make Taya a 7. He's going to banish more things. He's going to block another zone. I'm going to add Longguan back to my hand using the Adhara in my hand. So here's Yazi. We're going to use Yazi, make him lose some materials. Yazi special summons from deck when it's destroyed. So now we take these two. And now using the typical combo of Chichao Search, Moye Draw. Which, this is why we chain block. And this is exactly the reason we chain block. Ash Blossom would have been able to stop the search if I didn't chain block using Moye first, right? You want to, or not Moye first, using Moye after, right? Because you start with Chichao so you can get the search, because Chichao searches a Sword Soul, right? Moye only just draws a card. And it's more important that you get the specific card you need than just any card from your deck. Which is why you always want to use Chichao first, Moye second. Because now I can still get a card I need, which in this case is literally any worm to get Longguan on the board. Because now that I have access to Longguan and his token, we get Cheng Ying on the board. So remember what I said earlier about how Cheng Ying gets attack and defense and the opponents lose attack and defense for each banished card? Well, Kashtira just kind of naturally banishes cards. And they banished a lot of my cards. So, yeah. That's such a fun sound. Goodbye is right. It was a valiant effort. I will say that much. That was very neat. And then finally, a duel in Duelist Cup against Asmodeus. And unfortunately, because this is Duelist Cup, I can't see what deck he had. Well, we'll find out. Hell, I can't even remember what deck I was using. Silly question. The Ignisters are back! Oh, yes. That's right. This is by the time the Gate Guardian support came out. And unbeknownst to me, I'm just gonna feather duster the backboard and keep on going with my play. I don't care what any of that stuff was, right? So here we go. Back into the standard Ignister combo. Infant on the board. Field Spell in my hand. Field Spell on the board. Field Spell again. Here's Fikari going to grab AI Contact. Because I still have the other Field Spell in my hand, and now I don't. There we go. So we're going to Wicked. Which I technically don't need to do, but it's still pretty handy to do, because Wicked can grab a Cyber's Tuner if something is special summoned to a zone it points to. But I didn't have to this time, because none of these guys are tuners, and I don't think yeah, I didn't get Sigma. I probably should have grabbed Sigma. Grabbing Sigma would have been a great idea. Although, well, I guess I don't have to if I have Circular, so that's probably why I didn't. Yeah, because Circular can just grab Sigma if I need Sigma. Anyway, boop! Templar's back on the board. Or is on the board. He's not back on the board. That's the first time he's been on the board. I guess he's been back on the board for a bit. It's been a while since I've missed stuff in these replays, I guess. And once again, always a key point of negation, stopping either Ignister or stopping either Infant or Templar. So that was a quality spot to stop. And because he stopped that, Infant can't use its effect either. So now I'm going to have to use the Mathmech stuff. And he's going to Ash Blossom the Circular, because he is mean. That's not stopping me. I want to get my equation. Let me do math. And then he blocks this. He's mean. But there is only one monster in the extra monster zone, so ooh. I just realized what's happening now. This is after the new Cyber stuff came out, so that means I have, yep, Singularity and Firewall Dragon in here, and not Ignister, the Arrival anymore. I completely forgot that this would have been about the time that they got added. Ow. Ooh. I'm going to make access code with the big booty. He got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. And punch him with the big booty. That's Castera Unicorn. Now, if you're wondering what the hell Castera Unicorn is doing in here, well, it turns out the Gate Guardian pieces are all level 7, so it kind of just incidentally works together well. Now he's going to use the big eye. Except he's not. So, if you're wondering what the fuck just happened there and why he wasn't able to do anything, yeah. When I made him with Gachiri, Gachiri's effect can make a monster you control unaffected by opponent's card effects until the end of their turn. So... this is an often not used effect, because this is typically a 1-of in this deck, but it's handy when it happens for reasons like this. Because, yeah, now he's just staring at Access's big booty. So I'm wondering what he can do to further this. He's going to end with a bunch of back row, has to mill a bunch. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a rule where at the end of a turn, you can't have more than 6 cards in your hand, so you have to send everything in your hand until you have 6 cards. I know other card games don't have that rule. Like, I know Pokemon doesn't. Pokemon will let you have, like, half your deck in your hand and they don't give a fuck. It's kind of funny. And I gotta say, so there's a problem right now. I can't do anything, because if I attack, he's going to use one of these effects and blow up the Access Code Talker. Right? Which I'm going to have to try and do anyway, but I immediately know, yeah, he's going to just get rid of it. But then I realized something at this point. He only has 4 cards in his deck right now. And I just drew Book of Eclipse, which makes all his monsters go face down, then at the end of the turn, face back up, and then he draws cards equal to the number of cards that were changed face up. Which is going to be 4, but I'm going to have to do some more negation baiting just in case. And now I feel confident doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure that's the only time I've won by deck out in this game. And it was just a happy little accident. But yeah. With that, my saved up replays are all nice and done. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you'll stick around for next time. Which next time, what I was originally planning on doing today, matter of fact, was playing Half-Life, because I've never played Half-Life, and like a while back, they made it free to grab for a while, and I grabbed it and never played. So, yeah, today is Tuesday. I think my brain is off. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. So Thursday, the 7th, we shall play some Half-Life for the first time. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.